So in this video, we're going to look at how you can pick up the work for the lesson and complete that work and then hand it in to Microsoft Teams. So you'll notice that I've already selected my team here. I would do that by going into the Teams group, Teams icon in the left-hand side of the screen here, and then just selecting the relevant team. And within that team, you'll find there are a number of different channels. General is the channel on which we post general chit chat, and this is the one that's got the files tab at the top here. It's also got assignments, and that will show you all the assignments for your that you've received so far, and it's also got all your grades in there when work's been marked. You've got lesson bulletins. This is where notices for the from the teacher are posted. So I've got a comment here saying that today I've got this assignment has been posted at the start time for the lesson, and you'll also find a channel called assignments, and this is where we'll post all of your assignments. So my first assignment is this one right here. Now, first of all, I'm just going to click on view assignment, and that will open up. And on the left hand side here, we've got a bunch of instructions. We've got this thing called a rubric over on the right. We'll look at that, and it's telling us 100 points are possible up here. If I click on this, what I can see is the grading criteria for the various pieces of work. So to get an A star, which is going to get me 4 points, I need to do this. To get an A, I need to do these things. A C, here's what I get. If I get a grade D, this is the description, or what we call a descriptor. So this is a generic description of the piece of work. And over here on the right is what would happen if I for a U. And then at the top here, there's a comment saying what I had to do. So it's a good idea to read this to make sure that you meet the criteria. And when the teacher marks it, they'll choose one of these. So they're putting it. So if you do get, for example, a C, let's say, it doesn't necessarily mean all of the comments apply to you, but that means of the comments we've got here, that is the one that best describes your work right now, and that would therefore get a grade C. Here, and then very simply, I'm just going to do what it says. So it tells me that it tells me what the assignment's about. The learning objectives, this is what I should know by after I've done this piece of work. And then it says, first of all, I've got to watch this slideshow, and it's got this file name here in italic letters, and you'll notice that file name here is this one down here under reference materials. It says we've got this thing here, and I know that this icon is a PowerPoint presentation. And then down here it says open the Word document, and then it tells me that I've got to make some changes to the Word document, and then I've got to hand the Word document in. So first of all, I will click on this link here, and this is going to start the slideshow running. That will load up within Teams, and once it's loaded up, you've got a button up at the top right that you'll be able to click on, and you'll be able to start the slideshow here. Always make sure you start the slideshows, because there's animation in these quite often, and if you don't start the slideshow, you won't see the animations, and then they won't make a lot of sense. Anyway, once I've looked at my slideshow, the next thing it told me I had to do, if you look at this, was to open the Word document and then work through the tasks. So the Word document's down here, my work. This is stuff that you need to do and then hand in. So I'm going to click on that. This will open up in Word, but Word is running inside Teams here, and we give it a moment or two to finish loading. We can tell it's loaded because all of the menus have appeared at the top here, and then I'm going to work through this, and you can see here it says remove this text and write your answers here. So I write my answer to the question here. I would suggest that we want to take away the highlighting here, so I'm going to go up to the highlighting option at the top here and say I don't want any highlights. And I'm going to make this, I'm just going to mark this in bold because I want it to stand out so the teacher knows that I've written that. I'm not going to do the rest of it, but let's say I've just finished my piece of work. When I've got to the bottom of it, I press close. And what it'll do, what it's done is it's actually saved that file into Teams already. So this file we're looking at here now is the modified version that I've just made. So all I need to do once I've finished doing this piece of work to hand it in is just click this button at the top right to say turn in, and in the work goes to the teacher. So that has now been submitted, and the teacher will see that work from me. I don't need to tell them I've done it. If I feel I've handed in, for example, the wrong file, or I didn't finish it properly or something like that, what I can do is I can click on this button here that says undo turn in, and that's a little bit like asking the teacher for your work back. So I click on that, the work gets returned to me, and now if I go into here, let's open up that file that I started out. You'll notice that was the first change I made. If I try and make another change to the document, so here is another change, you'll notice that nothing's happening, and that's because the document's in read-only mode, which we can see from this comment right here. So I'm going to click on Edit Document. Teams is going to take the document out of read-only mode, and now once it's finished loading up, I can now select this text here and I can start typing. This is another change. And there you go, there's another change with another spelling error. So I'll fix that, and then once I've done that, if I press close, that will then update the copy of the document on Teams, and I can then go up to the top right again and hand that in here, and I click turn in, and the work gets handed in to the teacher.